And we're live. Hello. Happy Monday. I was shooting a video yesterday and talking about how, I found this coffee mug where people dread Monday. And I look forward to Monday. Monday's my thing. Monday's my happy day. Hold on. I need to turn the volume off on my phone. That's what I need to do. It's so funny. There we go. I thought I'd done it, but apparently if you don't do all the settings on this crazy phone, it still continues to have sound. So there we go. Welcome, everyone. If you are here at 1 p.m. Pacific time, you are live over in the chat here. I see you talking. Welcome, everyone. If you don't see the ability to type a comment in a live chat, you are probably watching this on the replay. Still, continue to watch. We're going to share some really great information today that I hope will help you in your reselling business. So, we do this every Monday, 1 p.m. Pacific time, which is 4 p.m. Eastern time. It is so hard for me to fathom that it's already 4 p.m. somewhere, or 5, or 8. Or the next day, as in some other countries. But here we are. I will tell you, as much as I love Monday, this has been a rough one. It's been a rocky start to the week for me, just like some personal stuff. But it kind of goes along with what I want to talk about today. And that is... I'm gonna be open and transparent about some of the issues we face as resellers and how I handle those. Stand by one memento. I've got, I'm a little OCD, and that is just going to bother me with that little shelf showing. There we go. Now I feel better. I can adjust the webcam. But yeah, we're going to talk about this crazy reselling life. And then I thought I would just walk you through my actual doing a listing from start to finish. Well, minus the pictures. I don't have the pictures. Creating a draft with everything but the pictures and how I do that. With you guys down for that? Does that sound like something you would like to do? And I see so many of you are already talking. Yes. I will be on Misty's channel, which is Thrifter, Junker, Vintage Hunter, and at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern, on her Vintage Rescue Squad show tonight. I'm super excited about that. I'm just super excited. Like, I get to actually talk to Misty and Michael and Kat, the nurse flipper. That is going to be so awesome. But we're going to really dive into eBay on that show as well tonight. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Bree, for posting the link over to Misty's channel. Okay, I don't even know quite how to start this, but here's what I'm going to say. I'm just going to say it. Sometimes working for yourself, especially in the reselling realm of things, is hard. Actually, sometimes it really sucks. There are things that we have to do and things that occur in this business that we just don't want to deal with. And we don't have a boss hanging over our head, like saying, okay, you got to get this done. We are our own boss. And sometimes that can be difficult. It can be difficult, especially if you're not very self-motivated. You'd rather just make that bowl of popcorn and sit on the couch and watch a movie in the afternoon. True confessions. I told you, I'm gonna confess. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I just say, you know what? I'm just gonna take a little break, and I don't watch movies, but I go and I'll watch other YouTube videos, and then just one more. Just one more. I got time, just one more. And then I get done with that, and now all of a sudden I'm feeling super stressed because I've got this long to-do list to get through, and I haven't even touched it yet. And So yeah, anybody relate to that? And I ask a question and then I have to wait for the lag. And I am trying to catch up here on all of your comments. I see, yep, Melissa's posting the link over there to my eBay store. Someone asked, I am utterly good stuff. There is a link over there. While you're watching this, you get the notification of this talk. I know, YouTube's a crazy thing sometimes. Crazy thing. Okay, just catching up on the chat over there. Catching up. Yeah, sometimes it is one task at a time. And Julia, Perfecting Pearls, knows when you are also a YouTube content creator and doing things on YouTube, that adds a whole new level of things to your to-do list. I personally put out daily content. So that means 5 days of the week, I have an actual video that I've created of me out shopping for this stuff. Well, and I know everybody who shops for stuff goes through this. So let's talk true confessions on this. So I'm bringing home all this stuff. You guys have seen my cart, especially lately. And I have tons of stuff that I'm bringing home. And it's got to be processed in. And for me, what that looks like is everything has to be unpacked and it gets sorted. Is this going into live sale? Is this going to the booth? Or is this going on eBay? So I have my 3 venues that I sort to. So that's the first step. Now, after it's sorted, the booth stuff has to be everything has to be cleaned and tags removed. And it has to, be inspected and gotten ready for wherever it's going. And then it's got to either be priced for the booth or it's got to be brought in and staged for live sale. Live sales are probably the easiest. I love live sale prep because I don't have to take pictures. I do have to describe it a little bit. I have to create a spreadsheet saying what's in but live sales are a joy. And then you guys know that eBay takes work. eBay is not only all of the above, but now you have to take pictures and you have to write up the listing. And then you have to have a good inventory system where you can store it. And I will be honest right now. I had a new girl start this morning and she wanted to come in and use the bathroom. And I was embarrassed. My house is a shambles because you know what gets put last on the list of things in my life? Housekeeping. I'll just say it. I have not vacuumed we're going on 2 weeks now. I have caught up on laundry a little bit. I'm not caught up on laundry. I've done laundry. The kids have clean clothes. I have clean clothes. The dishes, Rachel does the dishes. So dishes are done. The trash gets taken out by Noah. So so it's not, I don't want to say that it's disgusting, but to me, it's disgusting. To me, it's like, it's not what I want my house to look like. And I know I'm saying this because I know I'm not alone. I know it. And it's just one of those things that does not take a priority until I'm like, having people over for a little social party or something. I was like, oh crap, we have to spend the day cleaning house. Anna asks what a live sale is. So a live sale is when I come on here Fridays at 1 p.m. Pacific time, and I have about 50 items that I auction off right here live on YouTube. I do it every week. And I start everything at $1. Everything. And it goes for what it goes for. And you need a housekeeper who also sells and understands. Yeah, see, the hard part for me to bring in a housekeeper is that I don't want them like moving stuff. That I'm trying to keep my eBay stuff in the eBay room, but you guys know it spills over. One of my things right now is I have boxes of fan mail. I have not opened them yet, but they're sorted into an area so that I don't mix them up with other stuff. And so I have this big pile of boxes in my living room that I need to get to soon. And I don't want anybody else touching my my organization, if you know what I mean. When somebody comes in and cleans and they move stuff and then you can't find it and then, so, but yeah, I know this is a common thing. I know I'm not alone. And I am willing to open myself up to the many comments that will follow when this goes into the replay mode. It's fine. It's fine. I can take it. It is truth. And my son, this was my wake-up call. This was truly, I'm going to cry. Noah's 16, and those who know Noah in person knows he is just the most amazing kid. Both of my kids are amazing, but there is something about Noah and his willingness to do whatever his mom asks. And I realized that I have leaned on him a little too hard. He came home, he got dropped off yesterday. They go to their dad's for the weekend, and he got dropped off yesterday, and I said hello to him. I was like, okay, I need your help getting this thing out of the car. It was like in full bore mode. And he's like, Mom, let me put my stuff down. I'm like, okay. And he says, Mom, he says, sometimes I feel like you're only happy to see me when you need something. So that just had me really thinking about the other thing in this business is like, oh gosh, darn it. I sprung a leak, you guys. I sprung a leak. Okay. We have to make time for what's truly important. We have to make time for what's truly important. And there is nothing on this planet more important to me than the 2 kids that are still living in the home that I'm raising. I mean, I have 4 kids. 2 of them are grown, and they know what I mean when I say this. I'm responsible for these 2. I'm forming them. I'm influencing how they're going to turn out as grown human beings in this world. And woo, that was a wake-up call that I'm failing a little bit. I'm failing a little bit in that I'm not showing them just how important they are, whether they can do something for me or anyone or not, that just being is enough. So, okay. So it had me on this thing of I need to manage my time better. And I just love Noah just says it like it is, and I love that about him too. Noah will just say it like it is. Yeah, he's not gosh darn it, this leak won't stop. He is not your typical teen. Rachel is more of a typical teen. Rachel gets really mad at me and goes and slams the door. But I feel like, with Rachel, her and I are doing things all the time. We're getting our nails done. We're going shopping. We're going horseback riding. And with Noah, it's not that way. I do tend to take for granted that he needs more from me than just, coming out and eating dinner and all that stuff. So, in order to make more time, there's only one way to do that. Actually, there's 2 ways to do that. You either have to be more efficient and you have to, let some things go, or you have to get help. You have to get help. And it's just what all it comes down to. So I'm at the point I have to get help. And somebody even said in one of my comments, how do I prevent burnout? I don't. I burn out. So this morning, I've had a girl that comes in and she helps me package everything up. And I've learned to trust her. For a while it was like, don't seal the boxes. I held the invoices. I'll have the invoices, and now I trust that she knows what she's doing. The stuff is getting packaged very carefully. She cares about the stuff. She cares about my reputation. So all good that way. And now she just told me about another gal who was looking for some part-time work, whose mom has an antiques business that she does all the shipping for. I'm like, oh, so she's coming in and taking over the shipping, and the other lady is coming in and helping me with photos. Because you have to analyze, where is your weakness? Where is the point that you're getting stuck? I can write drafts till the cows come home. I can sit here and multitask and, watch different stuff and do different stuff and be writing up drafts and do, like, I have no problem with that. It's getting those pictures taken that is like a holdback for me. It just is. So she is going to come take pictures for me. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be a beautiful thing. And Noah came to me last night. Now, Noah used to do all of my shipping video editing because those were pretty straightforward. He knew how the clips went together, all of that. But he's been afraid to do the thrifting videos. Noah's very, very concerned about messing something up. Like, that's his whole thing, is he does not want to mess something up. He doesn't want to disappoint. And it's like, I feel like, oh gosh, did that come from me too? So he came to me last night. He says, Mom, give me some files. I'm ready to do your shipping videos. Your thrifting videos. So I sat with him last night. We went through one he's such a whiz at it. Like he knows the program he's working in. Like, I fumble around in it still. I'm like, oh, I think this will do what I like. And I don't do things in a very efficient manner, and it takes me hours. He just bam, 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 had that thing all worked out. So Noah is now going to start editing all of my thrifting videos. And the cool thing about, now he can't complete them because I still have to do the research and add the pricing info and all of that at the end. But that's not going to take any time at all. Obviously, also, if I have to do any voiceover, I'd have to do that also. But all the stuff, all the technical parts of putting all the pieces together, and the fade ins and the fade outs and all of that stuff, like, he's taking over because Noah wants to go go-karting more often. So, and I told him, I said, if you can pay for it, you can do it. So I've given him the motivation to want to earn more money. He is going to get paid well to do the videos also. I am a good mom that way. But yeah, so we're homeschooling next year, and each of my kids has to, for their math, they have to run a business. They have to, I'm going to get them each a bank account. They're going to have their own bank account. They're going to have their debit card, and they're going to have a savings account. And I'm using the model of Alex from Chapter 2 Vintage Co., where, half of the money her kids make, they have to put into savings. The rest is for theirs to manage and spend. So that's what we're going to do. They're going to have a savings account. Half of what they make goes into that. So I've already told them, half of what you make goes into that bank account. And the other half is for him to manage and learn how to, like, okay, go-karting is $40. Do I have, $42 in my account? Do I want to blow that whole $40 or all that? So that's going to be his business, is video editing. And he's going to manage his money, and I'm agreed I will take him go-karting at least once a week if he can pay for it. And so I think that's going to help a lot. And then Rachel is going to have an Etsy store, and you've already kind of seen her working up to that. I actually know she's been working on it. Again, like my kids, I pass on my anxiety to my kids. I know I do. And many of you don't know this. I am a hugely anxious person. And it is something that I have worked on and worked on and worked on. But it's still there. It's still there. But I think my kids kind of got that from me. And really it was, it was really, really bad the last, This year hasn't been so bad. It was about, I'm thinking, how many years has it been now? It's like 3.5 years now, going on 4 years that I became a single mom. And of course, anxiety was very, very high then. And they picked all that. And that was really impressionable years for them as well. So I'm trying to undo some of that damage, showing them ways to cope with it. We garden together. We're growing. Oh my gosh, you guys, we are growing pumpkins like you wouldn't believe. Anybody know how long it takes a pumpkin to grow once like the flower starts and it starts pumpkining? I mean, are these pumpkins going to be done before Halloween time? Did I plant them too soon? I don't know. But we have this ginormous pumpkin patch going in our backyard. So we've been going out there, weeding, watering, doing all that stuff for our pumpkin. And of course, you know, the animals. We've got the tortoises, and a while, September through October. Pumpkin takes 90 to 120 days. So June, July, yeah, they're going to be done before Halloween. June, July, August. Yeah, we're going to have pumpkins before Halloween. Oh boy. Yeah. So this is a really big week for Rachel. She is staff at a horse camp in town. Like for the next 7 weeks, she is working with, I think, 3 to 5-year-olds at horse camp as one of the camp counselors, staff people. So I love that she's doing it, but I'm a little worried because we are reaching record temperatures this week. Like it's going to be record-breaking temps. The record is 117. We are supposed to reach that on Wednesday, or we could surpass it. So believe it or not, I'm a little worried about my tortoises too. I'm worried about what I'm figuring the adults at the camp are going to get the kids, you know, undercover and all of that. And Rachel has a cooling vest and a cooling scarf and she's all decked out. But I'm a little worried about my tortoises too this week. Believe it or not, they can get heat stroke. Tortoises. I was out. In fact, you can't see because it's not on camera, but I got completely full of dirt because right before this, I was outside helping one of my tortoises fix up his burrow a little bit. They got a little disheveled, and I was down there in the dirt with him, helping him. I didn't want him to exert too much energy. I'm crazy that way. I do not have a Mr. fan for the tortoises. I have thought about putting Misters, but the cool thing is that they are on the, I guess that would be the east side of the house. So like right now they're getting into the shade. I mean, they have really good cover. And right now they're going to be, by the time we reach the hottest part of the day, well, it's already 106, but they're in shade. They're in full shade and will be in full shade. So they're good. So tortoises should not get over 100 degrees. Like their body temp cannot really regulate anything. I mean, not regulate. They can't regulate. They're reptiles, so they depend on the outer temperatures and most importantly, the ground temp to regulate their temperature. So anything over 100 degrees, they get brain swelling. So that's why they go down into burrows and get out of the sun. And in the wild, they just dig these big, deep burrows and hang out. But in captivity, we create those environments for them and they don't have as many options. So, yeah. All right. I'm sure y'all didn't come here to talk about tortoises. So I could talk about tortoises all day long. Let's talk about eBay. Let's talk about management. Let's talk about that process of, okay, so you went out and you bought all this stuff, which was the fun part, right? Fun part. And you come home with it. Now what? First, let me see a show of hands. if you have what is known as a death pile, I like to call it a profit pile. If you have a death pile, say I. I want to see how many I's. That is AYE. Who's going to confess, true confessions, that you have a profit pile? Let's see. I'm waiting. There's one. There we go. All right. It's okay. It's okay to confess. We cannot fix a problem if we do not acknowledge the problem exists, right? All right. There's all my brave souls saying, aye, aye. Okay. There we go. Now, all of you who are saying I have a profit pile. Do you have a plan? Do you have a plan of how are you going to manage that profit pile? Okay. Who has a plan? Now I want to see my planners over there. I know, and don't be ashamed if you don't. That's why we're talking about it. We're going to hope that when you leave this live today, you have a plan. Because a plan is what is going to get you from profit pile to no profit pile, right? And guilt-free shopping. You want guilt-free shopping. All right. So I will tell you what I do, and maybe that'll work for you. Maybe it won't, and maybe you'll get some other really good suggestions over in the chat. Oh, I want to hear, Jamie, I want to hear your plan. I want to hear your plan. I'm going to get out and see Jamie one of these days soon. She's not that far away from me. We're going to go shopping. Okay, so here's what I do. The stuff comes home. Part of the reason you hear me talking about my porch project so much, it's not just to make it a nice, pretty place for me to sit and watch the birds. That porch project is about having my place to first process the stuff when it comes home and have it not ever go in the house if it's not something that's going on eBay. So, and I'm almost done, by the way. Porch project video coming soon. So I have shelves out there now. And so the stuff comes in. First thing you have to do is you have to unbag it, unbox it, wherever it came in from. You have to take it out of the place that it was in. And I know it seems really simple to even list that as a step, but this is how I break things down for me. Is I looked and I had all these bags and boxes of stuff, and it's like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to do with all this. It's like, just start. Take it out, put it where you can see it. And then you can make a decision. For me, like I said, that decision is it going on eBay? Is it going down to the booth? Or is it live sale? Because that determines the next step. So once I have sorted which place it's going, then the booth stuff that's the easiest to deal with. Tags and out the door. I get a bunch of stuff tagged and I put it in my car. Because if it's in my car, now I'm like, okay, I can get this out of my car if I go take it down to the booth. So that's the first thing. It gets that stuff out of there. And then, oh, that's what I did, Jamie. That's what I did. That's the whole reason I got the booth. I'll come back to that in just a second. And then the next easiest thing for me to do is get all of the live sale items and bring them to my office. And then I know the stuff in my office is live sale. And I'm trying to get much better about setting up my live sale the weekend right after I do the sale on Friday, so that I can start sharing with you guys, here's what's coming up in the live sale, instead of waiting until the midnight hour on Thursday night. I'm like, oh, I got to finish my catalog. Yeah, it's a bad habit. This is going to help me get out of that. And then last but not least is the eBay stuff. So it has to be written up. Ultimately, my plan is to do all my write-ups in the eBay room, never bring anything past this one particular doorway that leads to the rest of the house. That's the big goal. Right now, I'm still bringing it to my office to work on because this is my comfy place. But that's the plan. That's the plan. And then once it's listed, it goes out to the garage. I have great shelving out in the garage for listed items. So that's the plan that I'm putting into motion here. So then you have to look at your plan and go, well, what's keeping me from making that happen? Like, why is that plan not working? And for me, it was just space and shelving. So that's why I remedied that. I got shelving. I got more shelving coming in. So you might need more space to give yourself a space to do what you need to do. So whatever that thing is, that's your little pitfall. You have to look at that and solve that problem. If it's simply that you're buying more than you're selling, you have to solve that problem. You can either don't bring home as much or get more listed, sell more, get more out the door. I mean, there's two avenues to go with that. I prefer the list more, sell more, because then I can buy more. I don't want to be held back on buying. So I just want to highlight Jamie's comment here. Looking for space at an antique mall to be able to eliminate my storage unit. Then at least my stuff will be available to purchase instead of sitting in boxes. Also live sales this summer. Exactly why I got the space at the antique mall. I was paying for storage. And then I'm like, this is crazy, because that's just money you're throwing away every single month, and it does nothing. So the space at the antique mall is a great way and you can make money. That's the thing. A lot of people are just happy if they pay their rent, but then that's still costing you money. Better than paying storage, but it's still costing you money. So the goal with the antique mall space is to actually make some money. And when I work the space, I make the money. If I get down there and refresh the booth every couple of weeks, at least I make money. So now I'm like, oh, I like this. Let's make more money. Let's get down there more often. So yeah, that's a great solution, Jamie. And the chat just blah, 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 right on by me here, because it's not playing nice. Oh my goodness, you guys have been talking, and I want to grab some of these comments. Let me see. Sometimes donating is also a plan. Sometimes, okay, let's just talk about this. Sometimes you get a dud. You thought it was a great thing. You bring it home and you go, this isn't what I thought it was. Oh my, or you find a chip or whatever that thing is. But then I see so many comments over in my group about, what's the value if it's got a chip on this, and when really some of those things, just let them go. Just let them go. Some people don't care about items with chips. That's why I do redonate some of that kind of stuff. Some, like my little dog junkies thrift store, I won't take anything with a chip or a crack or anything like that to them, because they have so little space, they can't do it. But Goodwill, it's still stuff that somebody might love or repair or repurpose. So I will donate. Depends what it is. Obviously, I'm not going to take like trashed items, but donate. Yep. Some of you have plans that are working. That is awesome. The plan is to sell the house furnished and move. I did that. I did that when I moved from Tucson, Arizona to Reno, Nevada. I brought in an auctioneer. He bought, the only thing I moved was stuff that I could fit in my van. And the van was hauled on a flatbed truck up to Reno. I flew with the kids, and I literally sold the entire house, all the inventory I had, and a car for like $5,000. And I just started over. It was great. Yes, shopping day could be used as a reward for a number of listings. Yep. But see, here's what's hard about that is you have the power to make that motivation, and you have the power to change that motivation. And if you're anything like me, it's like, if I just, I'm not getting 10 done. Maybe I'll just lower it to 5. We can justify things, right? So you have to be disciplined. Self-discipline is really key. Really, really, really key. Susan says, unbox, catalog, wash, drafts, photos, draft bank of 20 items, and launch during the week. I love it. I love it. If you've got a plan that's working, stick to it. Sometimes it's just sticking to it. Yeah. So I see a lot of you saying you'd love to do live sales, and I will tell you, live sales only work if you build a following first. Really, any resale business only works if you build a following. On eBay even, if you build that customer base, and I assure you, people have saved you as a seller. You are in somebody's saved seller list somewhere. I don't know if there's a way to check that. I haven't looked lately. I think you can see. We used to be able to send out like marketing emails and stuff through eBay. It used to be so much easier to market your eBay store. But following is key. And the way to build a following, okay, let me separate the two. On eBay, the way to build a following is just, it's niche to me. Now, niche means who's your customer base, cater to them, fill your store shelves with stuff that they're going to like. It doesn't have to be all the same things, and they may not like everything, but you know what I'm saying? It's a genre. It's like, I don't want to go wade through a bunch of athletic shoes if I'm interested in antiques and collectibles. Like, those two don't go together very well. I have a completely separate store for plush because I don't feel like the plush and the antiques and collectibles go together. Now, unless you're selling pop culture type stuff and your stuffed animals, your plush goes with that, then that's fine. But yeah, I pulled all my clothing and shoes out of my eBay store. There might still be a few in there. But I just thought, yeah, I don't want people having to go through clothing and shoes to get to the antiques and collectibles. And it's just really fine tuning your store for that following. Your issue is time for research. Well, we're going to talk about that because I'm going to, just here in a second, I'm going to go through a listing from start to finish. I was trying, I'm hopelessly lost in the comments. I'm trying. You got to refuse yourself the reward if you don't stick to the goal. Yeah, well, that's hard to do. It's hard to do. So even Jamie's saying, I don't think I have a big enough following on my channel for my own live sales yet. I'm going to be guest selling on other people's. And the guest selling, that is a great go to someone who's established and, and do the collab thing. That's it. And this is a community. This is a reseller community. And I love how everybody kind of like works together, and there's a schedule. Angela Marksberry puts out this awesome schedule over on Instagram of all the sales. It's really awesome. It's really awesome. Haven't discovered your niche yet, so is it okay to just start with a mixture? If you haven't discovered what it is yet, then absolutely list, and what'll happen is you'll start seeing what people are coming for. You'll start seeing what's selling, and you go, oh, one of these things is not like the others. And you go, what is this doing in my store? I have a bunch of that stuff in my store right now. So there's no perfection in this. But every once in a while, I know I get caught up in the, other sellers I'm watching go, oh, wow, they're selling those like really good. I should get some Monopoly games. I sold a few, and then it was like crickets because I'm not continuing to list games. I'm not continuing to list toys. So I'm not getting that customer base. So I got stuff just sitting out there. Whereas antiques, porcelain, pottery, glass, fine collectibles, that stuff is flying out of my store right now because that's what I'm listing. And that's how eBay works too, is they're going to bring you customers based on your niche. It's a beautiful thing. And then when you sell that thing, it kind of is like what else does a seller have that kind of goes in that same thing? And eBay's presenting it to your customer. But if it's not anything they're interested in, they're gonna walk on by. Walk on by. Okay, songs always pop into my head. Reselling seems to be more fun and profitable in the USA. I don't see this much activity here in the UK. Yeah, I can't speak for that. I don't know what's happening in the UK with that. But I know, eBay UK has it's a whole site in and of itself. I'm sorry, it's not fun and profitable there. I don't have any advice on that because I have no experience with it. All right. It's movie lines and songs. It used to be musicals because I did theater. Like I always get, musicals stuck in my head. How do you get exposure on eBay? You list. I'm telling you, that is the key. List. I don't know. For those of you who do a lot of Instagram, is Instagram a good place for you to be promoting your stuff? I know it's where the millennials are, and that is key. I just am so horrible at staying consistent there. I start out thrifting things I like, and it seems to be working. I also sell a lot of smalls, which makes me pretty good money. Yeah, and it's kind of what I do. I get asked a lot, why did you leave that? That's good money. For instance, the Le Creuset plates. See, I think I said it right. I think I call them La Creuset in my video. I left those plates. Those plates were a stinking good deal and a big profit sitting right there on the shelf. But you know what? I don't like shipping plates. They do not bring me joy. So I left them for someone else who they will bring joy to. Somebody, I am sure, came along and found those and just was like, oh. So yeah, it's just not my thing. It's not my thing. And you don't have to pick up everything that's not your thing. And I think that's really key. Because then you will, you're niched. We're all niched. We just don't know it, some of us. But if you go in most people's houses, you can kind of look around and go, I see what you like. I see what you're about. And if you're buying stuff that fills that spark of emotion in you, there's somebody else out there with that spark of emotion too. So the stuff we sell is not necessities. And because of that, emotion is key. Emotion is everything. When people are cruising through and looking for stuff to buy and they go, oh my gosh, I had one of those, when I was living in my mom's house, or, oh my gosh, my grandmother had one just like that, or, oh, I had that when I was a kid. Like that emotion right there is what causes people to buy a collectible. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. True that I am not personally doing the shipping. But I don't want to. It's not that I don't know how to ship plates. It is the risk factor. There's a lot that goes into shipping a bunch of plates and getting them there safely. There's a time cost factor. And yeah, I am paying someone else. And if they have to spend 30 minutes packaging those plates, that's more profit that just went out the window for me. So I just don't like shipping heavy plates. I just don't. It's not my thing. Or big sets of glasses, or I like to ship pairs of glasses. And I'm responsible at the end of the day. I'm still responsible for every single thing that goes out of here, whether I packed it personally or not. So plates are hard. They are hard. I'm just going to say it. All right. Let's list something. Okay. Who's texting me during? All right. Never mind. Not important. I always watch for the antique mall. Like the manager now texts me instead of calling me. Which is all fine and good, except I have to watch for it. All right. I've got this little thing here. This little thing. Of course, we know it's a creamer. kind of plain, but it's a BAUER. So here's the research part. What do I know about this? I know it's a yellow BAUER pottery creamer, right? I'm not going to try to come up with the age. I'm not going to try to come up with the shape. I'm not going to try to, the pattern, none of that. I'm going with what I know. I'm going to share my screen, which I forgot to do earlier. And here we go. So we are over to eBay now. Whoa, there's my background I just added. I was wondering when that was going to show up. I'm going to blow this up. So I start at eBay. This is where you start your research. And I'm going to do just what I said. Yellow BAUER pottery creamer. Boom. So the first thing I'm going to get is what's active, and eBay's going to give me best match. Best match is that crazy little thing that's causing so much angst among people, because that is artificial intelligence trying to determine what it is the buyer wants to see. And this is why the phrasing you use is so important. So they're trying to give me results that are the most closely matched to what they think I want to buy. But the first thing that I do is change that to highest first. I want to pay attention to the highest ones, not the lowest. So I'm looking, okay. That one kind of looks like the one I have. But what I notice is there's really only 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Is that oh, that's the same person. That's sponsored. And as I've told you, you guys, if you're paying for promoted listings on things that only a handful of them come up in search, you're throwing money away. I'll just say that, because that's the same buyer as this was going to come up anyway. In fact, their organic one comes up for me first in best match and this way. Then they want to show you, fewer words. I don't care about that right now. What I want to see next is souls. This is what I really want to see. And again, I'm sorted by highest first. Sometimes, even if you think that you've sorted it that way, eBay bumps you out of it and you need to get back in there. So, okay, all right. None of these are the same shape as the one I had. And when I see this, I go, I do like that I saw one that was listed for 40 and it's still sold. So now, because I didn't find a whole lot in the yellow, I'm going to take out yellow so I get a little bit bigger base. Oh, look, we still only bumped it up to 15. And I'm looking for the shape. I know it's not the ring. I know the ring is worth more. Still not finding this one. And this is where a lot of sellers get stuck in research and looking. And this worked out really good. I'm going to go back over to actives. I'm going to look and see what BAUER creamers are selling for or being listed for. And I'm like, you know what? I think I am comfy cozy listing this in the $24.99 range, as many other sellers have done, and higher. And I stopped paying attention to these ones down here where, well, if you're willing to take that, so be it. I'm not. And I will list mine higher. Whoops. There we go. So now I'll go over and I will create a draft. Oops, my page is... All right. I think I might have done this to the point where I can't see what I need to see. Okay, I had to back out of it just a little bit. If you just photograph it on Google Lens, it searches. I don't see, okay, let's talk about that. I see this all the time. It kind of makes me crazy. I'm gonna confess. The Google image and eBay image technology is not all there yet. And customers are not using that to find things like this yet. They are typing. You got to know your demographic of buyers. And the technology is still in its infancy. It's not completely accurate. You're going to waste time getting a lot of results that have nothing to do. Believe me, I've tried it. I tested it. It's just a waste of time, in my opinion, for me. If you're having success, by all means, go for it. But don't stop there. Take the information, which is the identification of the item, and then take that information and type in the words in eBay. Because what matters is if you're selling on eBay, that's what matters. If you're selling on Etsy, that's what matters. If you're selling on Mercari or Poshmark or wherever you're selling, you have to look at the results that are happening on that site. And the same thing with the cherish.com is the prices are so much bigger. So if you were to price this at $24.99 on Cherish, you're probably doing yourself a disservice. You know, the price there is probably $35 to $40. So it really depends on what the market value holds. I just want to put that out there is don't stop at just an image search. Don't stop there. Play with it. It's fine, but don't stop there. Yep. And a lot of you are saying the same thing, that it's because the technology is not there yet. And most people still are not taking their pictures on a plain white background, which is really vital for that technology to work. Yeah. Okay. So let me go back to this. So I am going to create a listing, a single listing. I'm in my drafts. I'm under my listings and I'm under drafts. Okay. So a single listing. And I'm going to go with that title that I told you about. Yellow BAUER pottery creamer. It's going to give me choices of categories to put it under. This top one, BAUER, makes sense to me. That's where I'm going. And this is pretty much where I am going to leave this title. There's not really anything else for me to say about this. That is going to have my item show up in the search for somebody looking for this item. How do I feel about sell similar drafts? I love them if you're selling similar from your own listing. So I'll talk more about that in a minute. You just sold the Murano duck you picked up in Vegas for how much? How much did you get for that Murano duck? I must know. All right, then your category is already picked out. Now I have store categories. I love store categories. I just put this in my glass and pottery. These are categories that you make up all on your own, any way you want them, however you want them to read. All right, I'm putting it in just 2 store categories because you can do that. UPC does not apply. Condition, I know there's a lot of talk about this, and I'm going to tell you what I do here. I'm looking at this. There are no chips. There are no cracks. There's no damage. No damage. There's a little, yeah, you know what? There's very little bit of like spoon rub inside. So, but this is what I'm going to say. I know this is controversial. Excellent condition. Oops, I can spell normal wear for age. Please see all photos. Light spoon marks on inside. Otherwise, no chips, cracks, or damage. Now, I've said everything that needs to be said there, but it's important. If you say excellent, you have to give the caveat normal wear for age, because there is going to be some wear. There is going to be something on a vintage piece. And then I'm instructing them, look at the photos. So your photos have to be really good, and you have to show them anything that could possibly be an issue for a buyer. You want to show them everything. A lot of people won't use the word excellent, but it's all about the psychology of selling. So if you don't start with a positive and you go right into, oh, well, it's got spoon marks on the inside and, you know, normal wear for age, sounds like, uh-oh, what's wrong with it? Whereas if you trigger the brain with a positive first, say good condition. If you don't like the word excellent, don't use excellent, but even good condition, you want a positive precursor to then say, yep, it's got some wear from age, but that's normal. This is good, excellent condition for its age. And then instructing them to see all photos. I have never, ever had a problem with this terminology. You will get into trouble if you are selling something that requires, like collector cards or things that mint condition is something, or like the box wear is important. That kind of stuff, you have to be very, very clear how you call something. Don't call something mint. Don't call something perfect. I will never say perfect. Never, never, never will you hear me say perfect. I don't think it's a gravy boat. You think it's a gravy boat? I don't think it's a gravy boat. I don't think it's a creamer. It's too small for a gravy boat. But that's it. That's how I do all of my condition description box. If it's more than just normal wear for age, if it truly has something, I'll downgrade it from excellent to good. If it's below good, I ask myself, why am I listing it? So if it's not at least good condition, I'm going to go, yeah, maybe this needs to go to the booth where somebody can actually see what's going on with it. Okie dokie. I don't have my pictures yet, so I'm skipping the pictures. Now here's those wonderful, wonderful item specifics. They have started filling some of these out for me. You can remove anything that doesn't apply, but they're getting pretty good at knowing what applies. So we've got a creamer. It's yellow. It's a vintage original. You know what? I don't know. Jamie, mid-century Jamie. Is it mid-century? I think it is. Pretty sure it is. So we'll call it that. Here's the thing. If you get one of these wrong, what's going to happen is when somebody filters for something other than what it is, your listing's not going to come up. The item specifics are really, really about fine-tuning and getting it in front of the right customer. Don't falsely represent things, but if you think something is something, go with it. Look at what other listings are doing too. If 90% of the sellers are calling it mid-century, call it mid-century. I'm good with that. You guys are arguing about whether it's a creamer or not. Looks like, I know, it does. It has mid-century lines, yes. And BAUER is a mid-century brand. I don't know what the model is. This stuff, don't worry about filling out stuff that just doesn't apply. Just leave it alone. Oh, something I do, let me go back up here. I copy and paste my title. And then I come down here. And somebody's trying to call me. Stop it. And I will paste that as the first line in my description. So what I'm telling the bots is title and description are validating one another, where it's the same information. Yes, this is really what it is. And now when you write your descriptions, what you want to do, like in this case, I'm going to go, this is where you go, wonderful, pastel, yellow, mid-century, pottery creamer, embossed, BAUER, name on the bottom, measures. Where's my little measuring tape? All right. It is, I'm measuring it. I really am, you guys. I'm just doing it right here on my desk. It's 2.5 inches tall. It's a little guy. Tall by, what are you? You are, we're going to run just a little bit over because I'm going to complete this listing. 5.5 inches from spout, oops, not sput, spout to handle by 3 3/4 inches diameter. Boom. Now, the other thing I do is I go back up here. I copy and paste my condition. I put that down here and boom, that's it. I've got my description. I am not doing, well, you know what? I will do this auction style, but I'll do it 7 days. I don't know when it's going to start yet. When I do an auction style, I started at $9.99 now. I've started doing this, guys. I'm being brave. I'm starting some good stuff at $9.99. The thing is, you must be okay with selling it at whatever price you started at. I don't recommend auctions for most things. I have a good following. I can do auctions. For most sellers out there, I would say put it at list at fixed price at the $24.99, like I was talking about. In fact, let me just do that so I'm not like totally confusing you. Although it's probably too late. I just probably totally confused you. I've just started doing a lot more stuff auction style, but it's I don't advocate that unless you have the auction following. So let's go back and let's just do a fixed price. I'm going to put it $24.99. Now, look what eBay is giving you here. This is an average sold price. This is not listed at $17. And what that tells me, some selling higher, some selling lower. This is the mid-range. I want to be above mid-range because I need to leave room for offers. I don't want to start it at like $17 and then somebody offers me $12. I want to start it at $25 and have somebody offer me $20, right? That's the psychology behind that. I absolutely let buyers make offers. I will automatically set a number here to, like, it's, if somebody did this, it's a no-brainer. I'm accepting it. Boom. I don't fill this out. Some people do. What I would recommend, if you are going to use this, just weed out the ridiculous ones. You know, just weed out the ones that are like you just don't even want to deal with. But I don't do that. I want to see every offer that comes through. And then, now these are all my shipping choices. These are saved into the flow of everything. You know what I also don't have on my desk is a scale, which is an important part of this. Retail ground, if it's not going first class, if it's over a pound when it's packaged up, it's going to go usually priority. But I put retail ground because it stretches out that handling time and sets buyer expectation. I like to underpromise, over-deliver. And I now have 2 business days as my handling time because I just found that trying to get everything in one day was making me a crazy woman. So this works for me, and I've been breathing so much easier since doing that. I'm also only doing international through the global shipping program now. I took off all of my international shipping on all of my items. I'll only do it through global shipping program because now it just has to go to Kentucky, and then I don't have to worry, about anything after that. And I fill this with a standard 12 by 12 by 12 unless it's going to be oversized. I really am not even offering oversized things on eBay at this time. So 12 by 12 by 12 doesn't matter. You can put it in a smaller box. Nothing changes dimension-wise unless it goes over that, what is that, 36 inches? However that adds up, okay? And then I'm pretty sure this is going to be 1 to 2 pounds. I will double check before I make this listing go live, but your shipping goes in increments. So if the item weighs, let me just come back here. If this item weighs 8 ounces on its own, and I know the box it's going in weighs 7 ounces, then I know it's going to be 15 ounces to ship this. Or, if this weighs 10 ounces, and I know my box that I'm putting it in weighs 8 ounces, I know it's in that 1 to 2 pound. So that's where having a scale and really knowing, how much things are going to weigh is important. Don't underestimate this. If anything, overestimate into the next pound increment to protect yourself. And then that's it. Now what I'll do with this is save as a draft. Shazam. I've just now created a listing. Obviously, it took me a little longer because I was explaining everything, but it's literally that fast from research to draft, and then just take the pictures. Good, good, good. So, Cat Funk. Flat rate boxes are not your friend. They are not your friend. You can actually get regular priority boxes for free, just like you can the flat rate ones. But those flat rate ones, that is for the post office benefit. 9 times out of 10, unless it's something super heavy, you're going to have it, the shipping is going to be way less on regular priority than flat rate. And in fact, when I'm shopping, if I see a seller only offering flat rates, I won't buy, because savvy buyers who buy a lot of stuff know that flat rate is not the cheapest. It's just not the way to go in most cases. Yeah. There are DGs everywhere around here, and they have lots of cardboard to snag for boxes. Oh, do you mean Dollar Generals? Yeah, I used to get mine at Walmart. You go in when they're stocking shelves, they have the greatest boxes. Mm-hmm. Now I order my boxes because I don't have time to go to the stores and pick up boxes or in the quantity that I need them. I am shipping about, I'm shipping about 100 things a week. That's 100 boxes a week. So I need those boxes showing up at my door. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it, Jamie. She says, this is motivating. I'm going to go list for the rest of the day. Haha, maybe. Okay, I'll ignore the haha, maybe, but let's go. Those of you who need a little extra, little push, a little accountability, I run the Niche to Profit Facebook group, and we do a daily listing challenge. And the only requirement you have is to get 2 listings up and running, and then you get to post a link to one of those in the group. And the group has nearly, where are we at like now? 10,000 some, I think we're getting close to 1,100. Why can't I talk? No, we're not quite to 11,000, 10,000 something. There's over 10,000 people in the group. And they're active. Like, it isn't just numbers. You know, I look at the metrics. These are active people in the group. So I'm just saying, that's motivation. Those participating are making sales. So come on over, join the group, and we can help you with other stuff. The questions you ask over here in this chat that I'm already running over my hour, I usually allot for this. We answer those over in the group. I'm in the group, guys. I go in there. I spend a goodly part of my day because my mission is to help those who want to make this a successful business. My mission is to help you. My mission is to help you get to whatever level you want to be at. That it's just, I feel like I have been so blessed with all the experience that I've had working with eBay directly, working behind the scenes with, the CTO of eBay, developing software. Like, I've learned things that the average person never gets to know. And I feel like it is my duty to share that information and help others be more successful with it. Like, it's not for me to just keep all to myself. That's not me. And the group is Niche to Profit on eBay, Etsy, and more. I'm pretty sure Melissa will post a link over here in the chat momentarily. It's also in the description of every video that I create. I do post a link to that group. Do you have to have a store to join the group? You don't even have to be selling on eBay to join the group. We have a lot of people in there that are just kind of watching things, dipping their toes into the waters. And it's a very positive focused group. It is not a group where we allow, and I'm just going to say I'm in a lot of groups because I have to keep my finger on the pulse of what's happening in this industry. And there's a lot of negativity out there. And negativity feeds negativity, and we just don't let that happen in the group. This world is a hard enough place to be in without fostering negative stuff. It is really the tale of, let me see. I always mess up stories, but we're going to end with this. So, gosh, let me see if I can get this right. Okay. So there's like this dog fight going to happen, right? And one of the dogs, really gung ho, hungry dog, guy's sitting there feeding it. The other dog, little skinny, little, I'm sure I'm messing this up already. But somebody says, hey, which one are you betting on? And he bets on the dog that's like being fed because, see, I totally screwed it up, didn't I? Those of you who know this thing, you know this thing. Basically, what you feed is what wins. And that happens in your brain too. If you feed negativity, if you feed discouragement, if you feed problems, they will grow. They will become bigger. You will go find many people who will validate and offer more treats to that part of your brain. If you feed the positive, if you feed the problem solving, if you feed the I can get through this, whatever it is, you will also be able to find people that will validate and feed and throw treats at that. And that is what we do over in the group. There we go. That was like my really weird, wonky way of saying, stay positive, stay at it, don't quit, solve the problems. Let's do this together. And come join me tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern on Misty's channel, Thrifter, Junker, Vintage Hunter. And it'll be me, her, Michael of the Cult of Vintage, and Kat, the Nurse Flipper, all talking about eBay some more. Join us over there. Can't wait to see you. I love you all. Have an awesome day. And go be profitable. And make it fun. See you tonight, everyone. Bye.